Good afternoon, and welcome to the June 9th regularly scheduled meeting of the Glendale Housing Authority. Due to the evolving situation with COVID-19, a novel coronavirus, and health recommendations from the LA County Health Department, the Glendale Housing Authority meeting will be available to the public electronically. Due to social distancing requirements, the public will not be able to attend the meeting. The public is encouraged to watch and participate from the safety of their homes to practice social distancing. The meeting can be viewed on local cable, Charter Cable Channel 6, and AT&T UVerse Channel 99. Streaming online, www.glendaleca.gov/government/public meeting portal. For public comments and questions during the meeting, please call 818-937-8100. City staff is submitting new questions and comments in real time to the appropriate person during the Glendale Housing Authority meeting. And with that, may I have roll call, please?
Authority Member Agajanian.
Present.
Brotman.
Here.
Kasakian.
Here.
Najarian.
Here.
Parazian.
Here.
Chair Devine.
Here. What's next, please?
The agenda for the June 9th, 2020 regular meeting for the Glendale Housing Authority was posted on Tuesday, June 2nd, 2020 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
You. Next.
Next would be oral communications, but I don't see any phone calls.
Okay, and next, please.
6 would be business agenda. 6A, community development regarding approval to appropriate funds from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development under the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act. 1, motion authorizing the acceptance of funds from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development under the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act. 2, resolution appropriating $332,822.
Thank you. Mr. Lanzafame?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the agency. We were informed that the Housing Authority has received $332,000 from the CARES Act to use for administrative costs in our Section 8 Choice Voucher Program. All of the public agencies that administer these were given some distribution. The funding needs to be used in the calendar year, and it can only be used for 2 purposes: current administrative functions or new coronavirus-related activities. In your staff report, there's a whole list of those things. We can buy personal protective equipment. We can relocate people that need to go to facilities because they're sick. Additional services that might be required of vendors because we're working remotely. Costs to increase owner participation. Costs for providing daycare for our workers if they have to come back and they have children they need to account for. Costs with delivering goods such as food and medical supplies. Public health related security costs, things that we could do to our lobby to enhance the safety of our customers and our staff. Administrative costs, as I said, to pay overtime. Everybody's working remotely, and we will have to do a lot of catch up in terms of file maintenance and documentation. And then other costs at the Secretary's discretion. As I say, there's $330,000. Staff would propose that you authorize any of those uses, but we would make some suggestions to offset our currently eligible administrative costs, to offset any overtime, to provide some what we're calling Corona Care virus packages that would include disinfectant wipes and masks for our tenants and landlords, to fund any mitigation measures we would think would improve our office. Right now we have a screen, it's a security screen, but we could still do more, have markings for people to stay 6 feet apart, We can have hand sanitizers in our lobby and things of that nature. And then little piece of computer equipment. Finance asked us to break this down, and so we did estimates of what these might cost. Again, that's what's in your packet. It would put them into different accounts and funds. However, the money could be moved around for anything during the year that the Housing Authority would like to spend it on. That concludes my report. Peter Zovak is on the phone, on the WebEx for more detail if I can't answer, so we'd be happy to take your questions.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Lansing. Are there any questions from my colleagues?
None from me, thank you.
Not from me.
I move the item then.
Second.
Are there any phone calls? Any callers?
No.
No calls.
Okay. Would anyone? No one has a. I had a question about the amounts that were allocated for each, and I just was questioning. I know we have to use it or lose it. Is any of the money being given to increase owner participation in our programs, such as incentive costs or incentive payments to landlords for making units available? Is that in our proposal?
I'm going to let Peter
Madam Chair.
respond.
Yes.
Madam Chair, members of the Housing Authority, that's not in the proposal presented by staff, more so because it's not necessarily an eligible activity under the program rules for the supplemental funding. What can be provided to landlords would be financial assistance in making a unit available to a tenant looking if there is excess or extra work because of the COVID-19 pandemic, not just simply making the unit available, but it has to be tied to COVID-19. We've not seen that impact to our landlords. In fact, we've received the most interest in the program by landlords, by new landlords, I would say since the last 10 years I've been operating the program. And a lot of it is because landlords are seeing that the Section 8 program, especially during these times with the difficulty for tenants to pay, as a stable stream of income. We've not had one default in rent in our program during the time of this pandemic. And so word has gotten out, and we've seen increased interest by landlords in our program, so much so that anything in terms of an incentive program wasn't considered.
Okay. I guess that's good news, isn't it?
It is. It does come at the expense of those that are truly hurting, but it is a byproduct of what's going on out there. Is that there is this realization our program is a well-run program.
Okay. Do you need, Peter? Do you need any other direction from council as to allocation of this funding? As long as if we're okay with how you have stated. No. And it says, Mr. Lanzafame mentioned these items, depending upon some of the costs, can be moved around. The $100,000 in overtime is a very conservative estimate. There is a lot of work that still needs to be done once we get back into the office. That can't be done remotely. But some of the other categories, the bulk of the item is the direct assistance, these quarantine care packages that we want to assemble and then provide to each of our tenants and each of our landlords. Okay. All right. Thank you.
So there's flexibility.
Okay.
I have a question.
Laura, please.
Yes, I have a question. Peter, I believe you remember that before we were having lease, the landlord lease, that they are providing their units for Section 8 tenants, but later on they disappeared. I mean, nobody was interested in just to give units for the Section 8 tenants. But now, since there is interest from landlords, are we going to have the lease again?
I'm sorry, are we going to have the lease again?
The lease, the landlord lease, yeah. That they're providing, the names that they're providing their units for the Section 8 tenants.
Yes, yes. Actually, our list has been growing. So if there were someone out there, a Section 8 tenant, looking to lease up in a new unit, we certainly have more referrals than we've ever had before.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So we have a motion on the floor from the mayor. Is there a second?
Yes.
It's been seconded.
It was seconded by Najarian.
All right, thank you. And roll call, please.
Authority Member Agajanian,
Yes.
Brotman,
Yes.
Kasakian,
Yes.
Najarian,
Yes.
Parazian,
Yes.
and Chair Devine.
Yes. And do we need to do anything with the resolution, Mr. Garcia?
The item was moved together.
Okay, thank you very much. Next item, please.
Next item would be authority member and staff comments.
Any comments? Hearing none. What's the next item, please?
Adjournment.
We are adjourned at approximately 3:20. Thank you very much.
I'll move it. I second.